These are the ChatGPT-5 prompting techniques no one taught us. And the first thing you need to know is that your older GPT-4 prompts are actively sabotaging your results. I spent 30 days figuring out why my outputs got worse despite using a supposedly smarter model. The culprit? Two architecture changes OpenAI barely announced. First, GPT-5 uses an invisible router that picks which model version handles your request, and it's optimized for OpenAI's costs, not your results. Second, GPT-5 was trained for AI agents, so it follows instructions with surgical precision but can't guess what you want when prompts are vague. The good news? I found 5 techniques that dramatically improve output quality. Some take literally 4 seconds to implement. The last technique is powerful. You'll make GPT-5 create its own quality rubric and refuse to stop until it scores 10 out of 10. Let's dive in. Add these 4 words to any important prompt. That's it. But here's why it works. Remember that invisible router I mentioned? These 4 words force it to route your request to the deeper reasoning model instead of the fast but dumb version. Let me show you the difference. I asked GPT-5 the same financial question twice. What are the pros and cons of putting my cash in a low-cost index fund versus a money market account? Without the trigger phrase, I got a generic list. Useful but basic. With "think hard about this" added to the end, the output included clear definitions of each option, pros and cons at a glance. Most importantly, how to actually choose between them. That last part never appeared in the original response. The key insight: deeper reasoning models catch second-order effects that could cost you real money or time. For high-stakes decisions, investments, career moves, business strategy, always trigger deeper reasoning. Pro tip: I tested dozens of phrases. Only 3 consistently work. Think hard about this. Think deeply about this. Think carefully about this. Phrases like "this is critical" or "this is very important," they failed in my testing. Why? Because GPT-5 interprets instructions literally. Important is vague. Think hard is explicit. Before we move on to the next technique, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. GPT-5's router also controls output length, but most users don't know you can override it with specific phrases. I found 3 power phrases that control output length. You'd add these to the end of your prompts to control how long or short GPT-5's responses are. Here they are. Save these exactly as written. Give me the bottom line in 100 words or less. Use Markdown for clarity and structure. Use for Slack messages to executives, quick updates, brief summaries. Aim for concise 3 to 5 paragraph explanation. Use for team meeting explanations, email responses, contextual updates. Provide a comprehensive and detailed breakdown, 600 to 800 words. Use for project briefs, research summaries, reference materials for multiple teams. Here's what surprised me. GPT-5 handles specific word counts dramatically better than previous models. Adding 600 to 800 words isn't just a suggestion, it's a contract the model actually honors. Pro tip: save these 3 phrases in a text expander app. You'll use them daily. 95% of users don't know OpenAI has an official prompt optimizer that rewrites your prompts specifically for GPT-5's architecture. But here's the issue. It requires a separate developer account and payment method. The workaround? Use this meta prompt inside ChatGPT-5. After running hundreds of prompts through this technique, I've noticed 3 consistent improvements. First, structure. The optimizer breaks rambling text into logically distinct sections. Second, precision. Vague instructions get replaced with explicit requirements. For example, instead of "give me good arguments," it specifies all arguments should be based on provided achievements. Third, error handling. When your prompt has contradictions or gaps, the optimizer adds reminders to ask for clarification instead of guessing. This works because GPT-5 is exceptionally good at critiquing and improving its own instructions, which leads us perfectly into Technique 2. If you use the meta prompt from Technique 3, you'll notice the optimized version includes weird angle brackets wrapping different sections. These are XML tags, and OpenAI officially recommends this structure. Here's why it matters. With GPT-5's precision at following instructions, structure isn't optional anymore. It's critical. Think of XML tags as labeled boxes for your instructions. Instead of this, help me prepare for a product manager interview. Here's my resume and the job description. The output quality improves dramatically because you're eliminating ambiguity about what information serves what purpose. Pro tip 1. Create a template in your text expander with default tags. For me, I always include a tag set to user-friendly and conversational as my baseline. Pro tip 2. This structure is essential for custom GPTs and ChatGPT projects where you're building recurring use cases. The upfront effort pays dividends. Remember how GPT-5 excels at self-critique? OpenAI actually recommends we exploit this. Instead of accepting GPT-5's first response and manually iterating, tell it upfront to 1. Create its own definition of excellence. 2. Grade its own work. 3. Keep iterating internally until it achieves a 10 out of 10 result. Imagine hiring a designer who grades their initial draft against their own quality checklist, decides it's only a 5 out of 10, redesigns it, but version 2 is still only 7 out of 10, and they keep going until they hit 10 out of 10. That's what we're making GPT-5 do. Example 1. Market analysis. Write a market analysis report on the enterprise AI industry. Before you begin, develop an internal rubric for what constitutes a world-class market analysis report. Internally, iterate and refine the draft until it scores top marks against your rubric. Example 2. Business presentation. Draft an outline for my quarterly business review presentation. Before you begin, create an internal rubric with 5 criteria for a perfect QBR. Then use that rubric to internally iterate the outline until your response scores 10 out of 10. When to use this? The perfection loop works best for complex 0 to 1 tasks, creating finished documents from scratch, writing production-ready code, or developing comprehensive strategies. Pro tip: you don't need custom instructions every time. Here's a universal perfection loop you can paste at the end of any prompt. Before responding, create an internal quality rubric for this task. Iterate your response internally until it meets your highest standards. Only show me the final version? Here's what most people miss. These techniques aren't mutually exclusive. They stack. You can combine router nudge phrases with verbosity control, with XML structure, with the perfection loop. It's not either or. It's yes and. The users getting the best results from GPT-5 aren't using the same prompts they used last year. They've adapted to the new architecture, and now you can too. See you in the next video. In the meantime, prompt smarter, not harder.